Well, there we are. There we are. We are live and we are on air. And I've just checked the video, and it all looks as though we're pretty tickety-boo. So lovely to see you, and thank you for joining me here this morning, as it is here for me. I have now realised, a 30-second delay between what I'm saying here down my camera and it landing on your player. So that's a bit weird, but anyway, we'll get through that. It's now in Paris time, 08:31, live on LinkedIn from Inspire Coaching GmbH, direct from Basel. My name is Martin Daubney, and I'm the CEO of Inspire Coaching, and we're a coaching company that helps people be at their very, very best every day, which can take some pressure, but without burning out, or maybe it's and without burning out, because we understand behavior. We understand how people operate and the environment they operate in. And that comes to very much the topic of today's LinkedIn Live. If you're watching this live, I'd love to see a little comment to say, hey, I'm live. I'm back by popular demand. I mean, the word popular might be a little bit of a stretch, and demand maybe a little bit too much. But there are certainly people who have said to me over the last week, "Do you stop doing your LinkedIn Lives?" I quite enjoyed those. So maybe you're watching while you're having a cup of coffee, or maybe you're traveling to work on a tram or a bus or a train or something like that, and need this little bit of respite on your Wednesday morning, or perhaps even you're watching a pre-record on LinkedIn, in which case it'd be lovely for you to comment and say, yeah, saw that, or through my YouTube channel on YouTube. Anyway, behavior, what it's all about. Well, since I started formally coaching and having studied psychological coaching, so I'm a psychological coach, or rather than coaching psychologist, and very much interested in the behavior of how we do things and why we do things, mostly by habit, how we make choices, but also really understanding performance management. And in that space, stress and how that operates in the body and why, and building resilience and how to. So there's a whole suite of stuff that I can offer you in that space if you're interested, which if you are, please just get in touch. But the crux of today's LinkedIn Live is really about what Peter Drucker said, that culture eats strategy for breakfast. So what's the meaning behind that? Well, it is no surprise to me, although it is sometimes a surprise to the people that I see, that actually the environment they have been working in is a huge contributory factor to the stressed state they are in, and in that prolonged chronic stress state, the burnout that they are inevitably experiencing. I've met many, many people over the years who have changed internally and done the inner work to become more resilient, only to go back into the very same lion's den that got them in that stress state in the first place, to maybe not make it first time round and have to have a readjustment and a realignment in the work that they do. Honestly, it takes many, many years for someone to recover from a burnout. It's something that takes a huge amount of energy out of the person. It costs them. Then they can't do the work properly. The employer, which is supposed to care, really, have a duty of care anyway, does what they think they can do. But inevitably, people don't speak up about the burnout because the culture doesn't allow them to. And part of that culture challenge for them is not that people don't listen, because nowadays they do start to listen. What they don't know what to do is what happens when you come back to work. It's very, very easy to go off work and be signed off and have your hip replaced, or mend a broken arm, or even some dental work, or some elective surgery that you might need to do for your own well-being and wellness. When it comes to mental health, there still is a bit of a challenge. And I know organizations are trying to do some things to address that. So one of the things we do at Inspire Coaching is support an organization called ComPsych, who are based in Chicago, but ComPsych are in the back office of supporting organizations with their well-being. They have these employee assistant hotlines, telephone lines. So there's an employee assistant program, EAP, often goes in, and part of that package is the availability of a hotline, a telephone number that anyone can call and say, help, I've got a problem. That kind of says that, okay, the organization may not be the best people to deal with any challenge that a person might have in that moment. And they recognize that. So they get an expert in. And there's a bank of experts. And in fact, ComPsych do a really, really good job of helping employees, wherever you are in the world, speak to someone the moment you need to speak to someone, and then put you through to the right person. So you could come up with financial challenges or relationship challenges, but more often than not, it's stress in the workplace. Ask any HR department in any organization the cause, put cited cause for anybody going off on prolonged sick leave or absence from work. Chances are it's stress related. You come down to that as well. A huge number of illnesses that we get diagnosed by the medics with are stress related. So stress and prolonged stress and stress in the workplace is kind of a big indicator. So let's go back to it. Organizations go, oh, okay, there maybe there's a bit of a PR exercise, public relations exercise that says, if we want to attract top talent, we really need to have some sort of wellness program, because people are now looking for wellness packages as part of the onboarding experience. Well, that's great. But what do these wellness packages actually do, and what are the elements that they have in them? From my experience of talking to people, please tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me your organization is different. Please tell me you've got other things in place. From my experience, again, it's kind of an abdication of responsibility. The fundamental culture within the organization doesn't change, but they give you offerings like, we'll pay for a subscription on Headspace. Headspace is great. Go for it. Use it. But it's up to you to use it. We'll bring in some yoga experts or Pilates experts or Reiki experts or whoever does some of these other modalities. You have an on-site gym. All these things are very useful, very helpful elements to a wellness program, but don't really, don't really change the culture in any positive way, because those people who want to take it up are probably those people who already know that it's a good thing to do. The number of times I have been round on behalf of ComPsych and others to talk to groups about their wellness elements and give them presentations and open discussions. And you have one about sleep, for example. And do we know about sleep hygiene? And have you got a routine? And what do you do? Blah, blah. Now, without exception, everybody in the room knows about sleep hygiene. Everybody in the room realizes and knows that they shouldn't be on their handheld device, towards the evening. The blue light messes around with the melatonin in the brain, and it confuses the brain about when it's time to sleep. So you get a disrupted sleep, and then you wake up to all sorts of things. So everybody knows, leave your phone outside the bedroom. Everybody knows that it's a good idea, actually, to not even watch the television an hour before you go to bed, and that you stop drinking coffee. If you're a coffee drinker, then stop that at midday, because coffee takes a long time and the caffeine takes a while to metabolize out of the system. So you need to be caffeine free before you go to bed. All these sorts of things. Everybody knows that if you're stressed and you reach for a bottle of wine, say, I'll just have a relaxing glass of wine, that can lead to 2 the next day and 3 the next day after that. And you're not getting sleep. You're being, sedated into sleep and not having good natural sleep. So everybody knows all this stuff, but the culture in the organization doesn't help embed that organization. Anyway, as I say, so culture really does eat strategy for breakfast. So the strategy is all about where you're going and what you're doing, how you're doing it, now how to get there. But the culture really comes down to the behavioral aspects of the leader and how they manage to help you get there. I use a wonderful suite of tools from a company called Human Synergistics, and they look at leadership behavior. Leadership work styles is a brilliant assessment tool, and there are 12 broad leadership work styles available. And in that, most organizations, if they are asked before they take an assessment, what's your ideal? How would you like to be in this organization? That everybody says we want collaborative people. We want people to be encouraged by their leaders. We want people to be held up and develop and be seen as good people. We want targets, and we want people to be a little bit competitive, perhaps, in getting there. And we don't want anyone to feel submissive and passive, and we don't want people to feel they can't speak up, because actually by speaking up, we can understand what the challenges are. And in that respect, we don't want people to be aggressive and banging the desk. That wouldn't work. And yet the reality is, wherever you go, there are leaders that shout and bang the desk and are in bad moods, and you're very difficult to speak up. And so there are people who don't speak up, so you don't hear the full picture. And then the collaboration bit and the trust and the psychological safety will disappear. Now, my conjecture is, if you had a culture that supported people, that gave them the tools they needed to do, the Gallup Q12 is a great assessment to find out if you've got all the right things in the right place. If they had leaders that encouraged you to try and had your back if you failed, or at least explored options so you could try with a bit more confidence, then you're going to develop an organization that has much more of a can-do attitude, and surprisingly delivers at a very high level. You don't need to bang the desk and shout at people to get stuff done. If you encourage them in a humane way with humanity or a bit of heart, then you're more likely to get more stuff done with bigger results and stronger output faster than if you bang your desk and shout at them. That's the way it is. And believe it or not, you might not be measuring this, but as a side view, as a complete gift in that space as well, your sickness rates and absentees due to stress and burnout fall. And do you know what the add-on to that is? So do your insurance policies, because you're not pulling on the insurance companies to pay for the salaries of those people that are on long-term sick. So, well, winner, winner, chicken dinner. You actually are looking after the people feel supported, they are doing their best every day without burning out. You have fewer absentees, so the insurance company premiums drop because you're not putting on them. Everybody apart from the insurance companies win. It's great. So why not do it? Look, if you want to know more about this topic, please do get in touch. I really am sorry about what happened to LinkedIn. I have no idea there, but here's the recording. You can contact me by email on martin@inspirecoaching.com. Love to hear from you there. We can have a conversation. You can go onto my website, inspirecoaching.com, and you will see the option to book a 30-minute call with me, and which point we can have a face-to-face conversation or meet. Who knows? If you're local in the Basel area, let's have a coffee and a chat about what's going on in your organization and figure out how Inspire Coaching and the skill sets we have to help you can indeed help you get the best out of your people every day without burning out. Okay, my name's Martin Dubney. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to do a quick edit for you, and I'll see you on a LinkedIn Live. Hopefully it'll stay alive next week. Bye for now.